Hi everyone, my name is Neha and I am a third-year medical student at the Mayo Clinic Alex School of Medicine. And what I'm going to talk about is the Harmonious Understanding of Machine Learning Analytics Network and International Consensus for Research on Artificial Intelligence in Medicine. So let's talk a little bit about this project. Artificial intelligence is a very heavily expanding facet within the healthcare landscape, and there is a lot of investment within healthcare technologies, having led to preliminary studies exploring different aspects of AI in healthcare. Machine learning is a branch that specializes in predicting the future health of patients. And using this AI research, we've led to the creation of guidelines, checklists, and consensus that are focused on different specialties within medicine. However, due to the lack of validity within these existing guidelines, the majority of them have not been reproducible within contemporary research. So what did we do? We had proposed Humane, a Delphi validated checklist for establishing an international consensus for authors and reviewers involved in research focused on AI research or machine learning in medicine. So let's talk a little bit about the methods first. We had reached out to individuals involved in AI medicine research via word of mouth or referrals from other experts. We had sent out an email explaining the aim of our project and current design, and through this recruitment process, we had recruited 8 AI experts through word of mouth and again from referral from experts. We had these individuals were part of a 2-round consensus process in this project. Let's talk a little bit about the creation of the checklist. So what we did first is we performed a PubMed search of machine learning papers and current guidelines between January 2015 to February 2020. Each member proposed a set of AI or machine learning papers to consider for the development of guidelines. And additionally, each expert was invited to include items that they thought were pertinent to our checklist. With this information, we created a bullet point list of recommendations, and then we organized this into a Google Forms survey. Okay, on to data collection and analysis. So the first version of this form was sent to the first 8 AI experts originally recruited to be part of this project. These individuals provided feedback and additional suggestions that we could change. And then we had a final version that was sent to all members for approval. Each member of the Humane group was then encouraged to send the survey out to 5 key opinion leaders or subject matter experts to complete. And of these individuals, they were asked to evaluate the necessity of each checklist item on a 5-point Likert scale. Here is kind of a flow chart of our process. So again, we started with the brainstorming of checklist questions, organizing them into appropriate sections, then referring to our AI experts with additional feedback. We then created it into a user-friendly web form. We invited our experts to then evaluate it further. And then through this process, we had created the final survey, and we sent this survey to individuals interested in evaluating this checklist against current AI or machine learning papers. Let's talk a little bit about the results. There were a total of 33 AI experts who participated in this validation process, and a majority of these respondents were 36 to 45 and male. Most of these participants were from the USA, United Kingdom, or Australia. The most common professions within this group was within healthcare, or they were a physician. And 14 of these individuals were early in their career, 10 considered themselves in the middle of their career, and 9 had considered themselves to be late in the career. So here is sort of a world map showing the representation of our experts. As you can see, the United States, United Kingdom, Sweden, India, and Australia are well represented, but we had individuals from all over the world kind of participate in this process. So what were our results within this project? Kind of what we did is using this Likert scale, we had taken all the responses and calculated a mean with standard deviation and a median with interquartile ranges. And as you can see, the scores are pretty consistent throughout, ranging from 4.0 to 4.8. And considering that this was a 5-point scale, there is a lot of consistency within this data and agreeability amongst these experts, which is reassuring. So through a 2-round consensus method, we incorporated feedback from evidence-based recommendations from experts. Overall, these cumulative scores suggested a good consensus across all sections. However, we did make minor adjustments to allow more clarity for the future reader or the user of this checklist. With any program within AI, there's always risk of biases because of how the program is designed or how the software is designed. So it's really important that when we use these validation data sets, we kind of acknowledge the biases that may be within the program, such as overrepresented subgroups, if there are any. Let's talk a little bit about the strengths. The strengths of this checklist include the ability to be utilized by various medical specialties. It's not limited to only one specialty, and it really does take into consideration the general format of AI research. And again, we had this checklist robustly evaluated by over 30 experts, and their feedback was incorporated every step of the way, thus creating a checklist that is really comprehensive in nature. And using this checklist, it will really allow individuals to communicate their artificial intelligence study in a clear and concise format. Our limitations. Although our studies did recruit 33 experts who were familiar with AI research, we do have limited representation from all continents. And as this is a generalized checklist for AI in medicine, it may leave out valuable items that may differ from specialty to specialty. So future studies should appropriately implement the checklist with this in mind. So what are the next steps of this project? We are intending to validate this checklist against current AI literature to see if we can evaluate its robustness or external validity. We are always open to questions from new members or those who may want to help us out in this project or want to participate. If you have any additional questions or things you wanted to mention to us, here are our contacts. We're always open to any new ideas or questions from members. Thank you.